We finished this meeting with the Protos. 22 cars entered for the final race of the year. 6 hours to sort out the drivers and to find out the name of the 2016 champion. When the points are discounted, the TFT2 has a decent advantage over the Norma 22 DB Autosport, but they'll have to wait until the end of the race in order to officially celebrate the title. After a qualifying session disrupted by the rain, the prestige category leaders show up well, as the Norma 6 of Bazo Tirion and Caillon starts on pole, in front of the 22 of DB Autosport and the 17 of IDEX Sport Racing. Fourth for the Norma 32, in front of the championship leaders, the 2 of Ferté Iliano Villarino. And away we go for the 6-hour race, and Damien Delafos gets away very well, managing to ease past the pole sitter Bruno Bazzo. Nicola Maulini in the 32 of CD Sport does the same on the right of the track. Watch out for the first corner. There are still wet patches after the rainfall earlier in the day. Careful off the start, Alain Ferté is in 5th. The race is long. It's not worth taking unconsidered risks so early. Up front, Damien Delafos attacks in order to pull out an advantage, getting safely away from the pursuers. Second for Patrice Lafargue, who sees Alain Ferté approaching his exhaust. The TFT driver would love to finish the season with another win. Behind them, a fine fourth for David Drew, the reigning single-seater champion, who this weekend teams up with Lionel Robert and Benjamin Rede at the wheel of the new Norma M20 FC, bought by the FC Formula team. The first Palmier car in the standings, the Kubrick Wolf Beck team, is 5th, but sees the 23 of DB Autosport getting dangerously close. Very quickly, the first competitors choose to put in the mandatory pit stops. That's the case for the leaders, the 6 and the Norma 40, which started from the pits after electrical problems. After a good start to the race, Alain Ferté in the 2 also comes into the pits, while Delafos is already in for the second time. After the opening half hour and the first drive-throughs, it's the surprising 23 of DB Autosport that leads the way with a certain Nicolas Schatz. The 7-time mountain champion is here to give VDV a crack. I started pretty well, and I was at ease in the car. I overtook a few, and then I heard over the radio that I was in the top 10, then the top 5, then 4th, 3rd, 2nd. Then for a while the radio was broken and I was shown signs. They showed me P1 on the straight, and I said to myself, it's incredible. I loved it. They call it endurance, but it's really a 6-hour sprint, and it's great. I'm passionate about the sport, and it's fabulous. There's a real team spirit here. There are stints, refueling. It's all very interesting. It's complex in strategic terms. It's really interesting. A special mention to Frédéric Saussé, who travelled to Estoril in the company of Christophe Janseau, the first quadruple amputee to take part in and finish the Le Mans 24 Hours. He recently started the SRT 41 Academy with Marie-Amélie Lefeur, an 8-time Paralympic medalist. The aim is to create a line and getting handicapped people to uncover the joys of competitive driving, a project which is ambitious and praiseworthy. Back to the front of the race and the battle raging between the Norma 22, who took over the command of the race despite the 8 pit stops the 11 required already completed. They lead from the 2, and since the start of the season, the 2 teams fighting it out for the title are very close to each other on the track. A solid 3rd for the 42 of Palmier, also the leaders in the Prestige, ahead of the Norma TFT 6 and the Norma 41. A full house for the prototypes from Norbert Santos' workshops, with 6th place overall for the 5, in front of the 43 of the Tuner Gencon Girardet trio, who are here this weekend for the Portuguese Grand Finale. I love the atmosphere, I love the race format, I love endurance. I've always loved endurance. I know that the level has gone up a lot, all the gentlemen are quick, everyone's doing a great job. It's a really magnificent championship. I've always loved Protos, ever since I was young. They're my favourite cars. You can't dream of better. There's drama 30 minutes from the checkered flag. Rain falls on the track and several drivers decide to change their tyres. That's the case for the 2 and the 22, but unfortunately for DB Autosport, leaders for 3 hours 30 in the race, Marc-Antoine Danilou gets caught out and is forced to abandon. The courageous Jack Wolf doesn't stop and keeps his slicks on the wet track in order to stay on the final podium if he can. After this final twist, and despite the tyres no longer being suited to the track conditions, the Norma TFT2, driven by Ander Villarino, quietly heads towards another win. The Spaniard couldn't have hoped for anything better for his birthday. Thanks to this 4th win of the year, the team of Villarino Iliano Ferté takes the title, and the Spaniard is delighted. Ander Villarino gets out of his car and is congratulated by the entire team. A big thank you to the TFT team for having faith in me, and also thanks Philippe and Alain for the same reasons. I'm really happy, and it was a superb race. We finished all the races, and even if we had small breakdowns and problems, the team did so well that we are where we are today. They did 2 great stints, and I did what I could at the end. It was a tough race. Just a word for Margot, who's going to be okay, and I'm very, very happy for her. A win and 2 titles for TFT were the 2 overall and the 6 in prestige. The Palmiers were bunched together in style behind the day's winners, the 42, 41 and 43.